Hi, my name is Susan Lees. I'm a healthcare consultant and coach. I'd like to talk to you just for a few minutes about burnout. One of the best definitions about burnout that I really love comes from the team at the Mayo Clinic. They define job burnout as a special type of work-related stress, a state of physical or emotional exhaustion that also involves a sense of reduced accomplishment and loss of personal identity. It's really important to pay attention to the symptoms and signs of burnout that you have if you find yourself having them during these really tough times. With your career, there's a progression to burnout over a period of time, and it starts when you feel enthusiastic about your job. You love what you're doing, you love the people you're with, you love the care that you're providing for patients and families. But then, as it becomes more stressful for you, you find that there's a pessimism and job dissatisfaction that you start to have. Maybe not all at once, but just over a slow period of time. It's like that honeymoon's over stage when you start to realize you just don't feel as good as you did about your job than when you first started working. As that progresses, you come to a point where you feel withdrawal and isolation. That's when you start, you're not as active with your team as you were. You start being quieter, not as interactive with your team. Maybe just struggling with some of the stress that you have around your job as well. At its very worst, career burnout is when you feel an irreversible detachment. Your heart isn't in it. You're just showing up just to go through the motions, but you're not really enjoying the work that you're doing, and you're probably not doing it as effectively as you were when you first started out as well. So if you find that you're starting down that path, it's really good if you could get help, right? And you can do this. There's 4 steps to this. One is admitting that you have a problem. And a lot of times people don't want to admit that they're burnt out because that sort of in itself admits that you're not as good as somebody else, or you're not keeping up with the rest of the team. I can tell you for sure that if you're the person who can admit you need help and start strategizing how to get that, that's something that's better to model for your team than just kind of taking in all the burnout, not addressing it, and just getting progressively worse. Because if that happens, nobody on your team is helping each other, because you're just kind of enabling that stress going into burnout just to happen. And I think your team can be a lot more cohesive, and you can be happier at work if you see the signs and symptoms and you have the conversations earlier to be able to get the help you need. So accepting that you have a problem and just admitting that maybe you need some help is a really good place to start. Next is finding the support that you need in a way that works for you. I'm not going to tell you, hey, you need major reconstructive therapy, because that's not it. You need a group of people that you can be around that support you, that you love being with, and some interests that you can have that you maybe already do have that you can pick up to be able to take away some of the stress that you have. We think of those as self-care strategies. That's the 3rd step, is to be able to figure out what it is that works best for you that can help reduce that stress and burnout that you have. And then the last step is developing a routine so that you can leave work at work, but also take care of yourself when you're not at work, so that you can kind of keep going and just reduce that stress and burnout and really just start to enjoy the life that you have and the work that you're doing again. Feel free to contact our team at Coors Leadership if we can help you with that. There should be a link at the bottom of this video. Thanks for the work that you're doing and caring for the patients that you are.